I think the word that you can use for the whole year will be management.
At the moment, we cannot fight with those cars.
Listen, guys, hold on, because this week, Max Verstappen was not just an F1 driver. He was a father talking about his daughter, a racer bleeding his heart out at the Nurburgring, and a man telling the whole world he might just walk away from the biggest sport of his life, and people are still calling it politics. Today, we are going through everything. Because honestly, Max deserves a fair conversation right now. Let's get into it. But before, if you want more update and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. Franz Tost speaks the GOAT debate is back. So let's start with something that actually felt refreshing to hear this week. Franz Tost, the man who literally gave Max his first F1 seat back in 2015 at Toro Rosso, came out and said something very simple and very clear. He said Verstappen is the best driver in Formula One right now, and he made it sound like it was the most obvious thing in the world. Now here is the thing that makes this interesting. Tost said this while Kimi Antonelli is on a 4-race winning streak and leading the championship by 43 points. So it is not like he is ignoring what is happening. He is just saying that talent-wise, Max is still at the top. He even ranked the drivers, putting Antonelli second, then Piastri, then Norris, then Leclerc. But Max stays number 1 in his eyes. And honestly, when the guy who coached you as a teenager still calls you the best, that means something. The Steiner drama and the savage clap back. Okay, now this is where things got spicy this week. Günther Steiner, the former Haas boss who everyone knows from Drive to Survive, basically said that Max is only complaining about the 2026 regulations because Red Bull is not winning. His take was simple: if Max was at the front, he would be calling these the best regulations ever. Now hold on, because the response from the Verstappen camp was absolutely savage. Max's own father, Jos, went onto X and wrote directly to Steiner saying he understands now why Günther is no longer a team principal. Short, sharp, brutal. But it did not stop there. Max's Nürburgring teammate Danny Juncadella also jumped in and pointed out that Max has been warning about these exact problems since 2023, 3 full years before this season even started. So this is not a sore loser crying about results. This is a man who saw this problem coming from miles away and nobody listened. That context matters a lot, and it leads perfectly into our next point. David Croft steps up, shutting down the critics. So after all the Steiner noise, Sky Sports commentator David Croft went on the Sky Sports F1 show and basically said what a lot of fans were already thinking. He defended Max completely and told everyone that these retirement threats are absolutely not empty. Croft's argument was simple but powerful. Max has been raising these concerns since 2023, way before anyone knew how Red Bull would perform this season. So you cannot look at a struggling Red Bull car and say Max is just doing politics. He was saying this when he was a 4-time champion in a dominant car. That is conviction, not politics. Croft also made a point that really stuck with me. He separated Max the driver from Red Bull the team. This is personal for Max. It is about the soul of racing, about what Formula One actually feels like from inside the cockpit. And when the lead commentator of Sky Sports is saying your retirement threats are real, the FIA should probably start listening. The Audi deadline, Max's future is not even in his own hands. Here is the most wild part of this whole situation. Max Verstappen's Formula One future is essentially being decided by a company he does not even drive for, Audi. The FIA has proposed changing the power split from 50-50 to 60-40 in favor of the combustion engine for 2027, which is basically the minimum Max said he needs to stay. But for that change to happen, 4 of the 6 manufacturers need to vote yes. Right now, only Mercedes and Red Bull are on board. Audi is hesitating because they are still new to F1 and say they do not have the resources to redesign their engine on such a short timeline. Ferrari and Cadillac have their own political reasons for blocking it, and Honda is somewhere in the middle. So here you have the greatest active driver in the sport, and his future depends on whether Audi can be convinced in time. That is genuinely crazy when you say it out loud. The Nurburgring story, pure joy, then pure heartbreak. Now let us talk about something that actually showed a different side of Max this month. He raced in the Nürburgring 24 hours, and honestly, watching him there felt like watching someone fall in love with racing all over again. During his stint, he had a scary moment where his car went onto the grass and nearly hit the barriers. His reaction afterwards was so Max. He just said they had a little moment. He turned in too early, kept himself calm, and refocused. No drama, just pure racer instinct. But then came the heartbreak. His car was leading the race with 3 hours to go when a mechanical failure ended everything. He called it a very bitter pill to swallow. The Nürburgring sold out for the first time in 56 years because of him, and yet he still went home empty-handed. The dad side Max on Lily and rejecting pushy parenting. And then there is this side of Max that does not get enough attention. His daughter Lily just turned 1 year old, and he opened up about parenting in a way that honestly surprised a lot of people. He was asked what lessons from his own parents he wants to pass on to Lily, and his answer was very straight. He said, "The most important thing is to always be yourself." He made it clear she can choose whatever path she wants in life, and he has zero interest in pushing sport or Formula One on her. He also said he wants to keep his family life private from the media world. When you know how demanding his own upbringing was with Jaws pushing him through junior racing, this feels like a very conscious and mature choice from Max. The big question. So, to wrap everything up, this week with Max was a lot. Franz Tost reminded everyone he is still the best. The Steiner drama showed that the Verstappen camp is not staying quiet. David Croft backed Max publicly. The Nürburgring gave us joy and heartbreak in the same weekend. And somewhere in a boardroom, Audi is probably deciding whether the greatest driver on the grid sticks around. My honest opinion is that Max is not bluffing. He has a daughter now. He has endurance racing. He has everything he needs to walk away and be completely fine. F1 needs him more than he needs F1 right now. And that brings me to my question for you guys. If Max actually leaves Formula One at the end of 2026, does the sport survive without him? Let me know in the comments.